Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and today's tutorial will be on my little, I guess you could call them, some people call them dreamcatcher earrings, or spider web earrings. I don't know, I just call them my crochet threading earrings. And this one in particular has some beads in it. I don't know if you could see these. It has about 6 beads in it. So, and this is just a regular hoop. You can get them anywhere you'd like, the size that you would like to have them. And I don't have a ruler around right now to show you how wide these are, but I believe these are 1.5 inches. And so if you're interested in learning how to do these, or how I do them, please keep watching. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is some crochet thread, and what I'm using here is, and I've already allotted myself some, and because I had to tear it off, I didn't want to leave it. I had another project that I had to do, so I gave myself quite a bit of thread here, and I also used these ready, little tubes of beads that you get from Michael's. It didn't come in this. This is my spice jar that I repurposed. But you can do that. What you need to do is go ahead and load your beads onto your yarn, and then just scooch them. Just keep scooching them down, because they're not going to be used right away. They're going to be used on the final round of the project. And what I'm using here is a number 9 excuse me, a number 9 crochet hook, which is a 1.40 millimeter 1.40 millimeter crochet hook, and it's, as you can tell, it's pretty small. So the smaller the better, because you get finer work. Now if you were to be using even smaller crochet thread than this, this would still be okay. If you go any bigger, you're probably going to have to go up to either a number, I think it's a number 10. I don't know which way they go, because I don't have the complete set on these smaller hooks. I really don't like to work with these a lot, because when you're crocheting, I tend to crochet on top of my finger, and from doing this a lot of times with these tiny, it's like needles scraping up against my finger, so I get sore a lot. And yeah, I could wear a finger patch, but I think it gets in the way, of me actually feeling the work, and I just work faster without it. So if you want to use this, if you don't have this particular hook, try it with whatever hook you have. There's no wrong way. I do it with crochet thread, because the results are finer, and but you could use yarn. There's no rule against that. So you just get your hoop, and you can use whatever kind of hoop you have. Anything old that you're not using anymore around the house, that would be fine. Now remember, you have to make the set. So if we take a look at my first earring that I made, okay, and this little hook-on thing, flip thing, is on the right side, on this side of the earring. And so when you are mirroring them, because you have to wear them one on each side, so you don't want them both facing the same way. This one I started to crochet on this side with the little lever on this end. So when you're making your other hoop, you take your hoop, you place it up against it, match it exactly the same, and then you flip it. And so now you're going to crochet this one on this side all the way around. That's how we're going to start. And here we go. What you want is to place a slip knot on your hook. Okay. And then from here, what I do is I just hide my tail in my work. So this is what I did. I have my slip knot on my hook, brought it around into the ring, yarned over, not the tail, but the working yarn. Yarn over and draw through 2. And you're going to take this all the way around until you are happy with how much you filled of your earring. If you noticed on my other one, I didn't fill it up all the way. I left a little gap because that's the type of look that I wanted to go for. So I have about 62 stitches going around, give or take, because I don't remember how much I did, but I'm going to try to, measure it up and see if it's okay to make it look the same. So when you guys finish doing that, and we'll come back to this, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I'm back. I hope you're ready too. And from here on out, you are not going to be crocheting on the outside of the loop. You will be crocheting on the inside. So I've gotten my camera to focus about 4 inches away. That way you can see all the tiny little stitches, because that's going to be the hardest part, is showing you the tiny stitches, and hopefully this won't come out blurry. So what you want to do is take your finished row of stitches and flip them to the inside of the hoop. And let me tell you, it's going to be a little fudgy. It's difficult to crochet down. So you have to reduce a lot because the circle does get smaller as you go in. So from here we are going to do double crochets every third stitch. So this is my first stitch and it's about to leave, and I ended up with about 66, let's just say 66 stitches all the way around. Of course, if you don't want them to go up this high, your stitches are going to be less, so just work with what you have. It doesn't matter. When I first did this, I didn't know how many stitches to put in there, so any amount is a good amount. Position your yarn to come out from the bottom of the hoop. So here we go. You're going to crochet 2 up. I'm going to try to keep in shot. 1, 2. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 just in case, because you do need one little extra stitch to jump over to the next. Yarn over and then count 1, 2, 3. Hook into that. Pull up a loop. Yarn over. This is a double crochet we're doing. And lost it. Okay. And then you're going to yarn over, chain 1. And then just keep doing that every third stitch. So that was where I hooked on the last time. So here I'm going to jump. Oh, I hope this is in focus. This is where I crocheted last time, so I'm going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3, or go to the third one. Insert my hook in there. And double crochet into that, and you're going to keep doing this all the way around. And you can see how difficult of time I'm having trying to crochet into this, because your hook is hitting over here on the loop on the your crochet earring, so it sort of gets in the way. You probably have better luck if you kind of point your stitches up a little bit, and whatever feels right to you is fine. So this is what I have. Chain 1 again, double crochet into your loop. 1, this is where I was, or last stitch that I crocheted into, so you don't count that one, you count the next one. 1, 2, 3. Hook into that, and then you double crochet. And I'm telling you, your arms get sore by the end of these earrings, because, well, I'm trying to crochet in front of the camera really close so that y'all can see the stitches, but when you're doing it up close, you might need some glasses, because let me tell you, I need glasses and I have to put them on all the time. then chain one. Remember to always chain one in between each double crochet, and then there's your last stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Hook into that, and then you just keep, oh, I lost it. You just keep doing that over and over all the way around till you get to the end. So I'll meet you guys at the end of this row. Okay, so here I am at the end of my second row of double crochets every third stitch. And for those of you watching this, I'm sorry to say, but when I had told y'all to single crochet in between each double crochet, that's not right. I made a mistake, and it just leaves it too much. We have to be decreasing because we're going into the circle. So what you have to do is eliminate the single crochet in between each of the double crochets, and that will get you the right amount. Because see how this and let me just pull my yarn out so y'all can see this better. See how this second ring is really taut? That's how it should be looking. If it's wavy, if it bunches up in the middle, you need to reduce some stitches, or you went into the wrong stitch and you're crocheting too many double crochets in there. So just so that you'll know that it's not, there's no single crochet in between each double crochet. So this, I'm doing my last one, no single crochet. I've just done my double crochet. So here's where I went into from the previous one. You can't see. There it goes. And 1, 2, and the last stitch. Oops, lost it. Yeah. I'm trying to do this through my viewfinder, and it's really hard to do. Alright, so that's my last stitch of double crochets. So you're going to chain up 1, and you're going to flip your work, and I open my hoop so that I can easily do this. Alright, when you go the next step, this is where you can really modify your earring. Now I'm going to do it exactly like my other one. So my next step is to single crochet into each one of the double crochet in between each double crochet. So I start off by skipping this one because you've already chained 1 and that counts for that one, and single crochet, oops, all the way across. No chaining in between the single crochet. Just single crochet all the way across in between the two. Sorry, I'm moving too much. I'm not going into that right there, although you can if you like that look. It's just a lot easier for me to do it this way, in between the 2 double crochet bars. All the way across. So y'all finish doing that, and I'll be back at the end of the row. Okay, so here I am at the end of my 3rd row of single crochets, or 3rd row, that is single crocheting into each space between the double crochets. This is the row I just finished. And if I can get my hook back in there. So I'm going to finish up with the last single crochet. I hope you guys can see all of this. single crochet one time and then turn your work. Oops, sorry. And see how this is crossed over? No worries. Just jump your yarn over your hook. And now what you're going to do, let me look at my other earring if I can find it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to skip every other, and when you're working the earrings, it's good to work them both at the same time. I didn't, because I was just testing it out with the beads, and so I was excited to put the beads on, but I've learned my lesson since. And it's probably better to do your earrings together. Now I worked this one off the spool, but the second one, if you're doing them together, you're going to have to measure out your crochet thread. Now I pulled out about 6 yards of this crochet thread to work, and I think I have plenty left right now, and we're almost finished. I got 2 more rows to go, and they're very short rows. And of course you do have to feed your beads in before you start to crochet, because then it'll be, you know, difficult to try to feed them in afterwards. So just depends on how you're working. If you're cutting both of your crochet threads that you're working on, let's say you cut 10 yards for each earring, then you can definitely feed your beads on at the end, very end. But if you're not cutting it off and you're working off of 2 individual spools of crochet thread, then you definitely have to feed your beads in before you get started. So here I am at the end of my 3rd row. I've already flipped my work. This is where I'm starting at. And in this row you are going to want to mount your beads. And I'm going to pull them closer to here, sorry. Bring my beads, they're at the very end of my yarn thread, sorry. So here they are. I'm going to move them, scooch them over close to my work piece. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I'll try. So you grab one bead, your very first bead, you scooch it all the way up, right there next to that, and you just simply skip one and crochet into the next. And you pop your bead out, because it tends to go to the back. Okay? If you find out that your earring needs to be turned, just pop them over to the other side. And then here you're going to single crochet, skip one, sorry, skip this one and single crochet into the next. And then insert another bead. Okay, hold it there with your finger, and then either move it to the back, out of your way, or to the front. In the front, you tend to have a harder time seeing your stitches, so I usually tend to push it to the back. Now you just crochet into that one, skip this one, and crochet into that one. Yarn over, oops. Make sure your bead is really close. Yarn over, draw up a loop, and then single crochet to close it. Uh-oh. Okay, that didn't work. Let's do it again. Alright, push my bead back a little bit, and a single crochet into this one. skip one. I'm going to go into that one, push my bead up close to my work so it can be caught, and pull through. Yay! Okay, now skip this one, and crochet without putting a bead next to it. Okay, and then you keep doing that all the way across until you get to the end, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I have finished putting in all my beads. I'll show you. Turn my work, but I'll turn it back around. I've got all my beads in there. Sometimes you have these skinny ones. You know, if they're not uniformed, if they're just, you know, different size delta beads, then you get this. This one just kind of floats to the back as usual. But when you have your earring on, it's not really going to matter. People aren't really going to notice. And that's the end of my row. So now we've come to our last row, which is our 5th row, I believe. So you flip your work, and then what you want to do is I crochet into every, you know, just regular as we did. Skip a row, crochet into the next, skip a stitch and crochet into the next one. And then skip this one, crochet into that one. Skip this one, crochet to the next one. Oops, sorry. And this one, I miscalculated, so my bead is at the end. So I'm just going to crochet into that one. Oops, just lost it. So I'm trying to get into this space right up here in the previous row. It's the only place I have to actually grab from. Oh, did it again. I'm telling you, these are very, very fussy. But when you have them on, they are so gorgeous. Okay, so then I pull my thread out. And I had plenty. I think I have like 2 or 3 yards left. So that's my earring. And I hope you guys like the tutorial. To finish it off, what I did with the other one is I just cut this off. Here. Cut off your thread. Pull your yarn through. Tighten that up. And then with a needle, I just fed it right back into this line right here that has, you know, thicker gauge, so where you don't see this going through here. Because if you put this thread and crochet it into the last row, you're going to be able to see that. So you don't want to see that. So I kind of fudge it and come down here and then sew it into, weave it back into this second row, which is more dense. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys make a lot of earrings. And if you want, post your creations, and because I would love to see some pictures of it. Send me a message, a comment, or anything. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.